Good morning, Heather here from Perfectly Imperfect Perfection. How are you doing? I've got my mom bun and I am in complete mom mode. We are in our second week of summer break, so we're still transitioning from school to summer. We have a lot of organizing to do, a lot of stuff to purge and get rid of, and hopefully lighten the load of our home. So as the school year is ended, I have to put together a portfolio of my son's work, and in order to do that, I need to know what we did this past year. So what this video is about is how I kept track of our school activities this year and how it worked for me. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. So this year I did something a little different. As someone who is not super organized and doesn't like to feel overly planned ahead, I went ahead and got a curriculum, Heart of Dakota, and to keep track of what we actually did on any given day this year, I went ahead and did a homeschool journal. So instead of planning ahead, I wrote down things as they happened. So I just got a composition notebook for about 50 cents, and it's lasted me all year. What I did is I tried to make it as organized as possible. Wrote our start date. I need to write our end date. We ended on May 25th. I kept track of attendance for trip. Mia, I don't really have to. I did keep track of her. She finished before him. She didn't go as long. So what I did in the beginning is I wrote down our goals so I could go back and see if our goals matched with what actually happened, which one of my goals is become an independent reader, enjoy reading. Trip is getting there. He's super close. He's definitely reading. Still needs a little bit of help. So I wrote down some goals for Mia. Was I wanted her to learn the rules, learn to obey the rules, be helpful, you know, be a part of this functioning household. So yeah, I started to keep track of the books we read, but we read so many books in a day that I kind of lost track of that. In the beginning, I just brainstormed. I like to write, and so I just took time to write down ideas. They didn't all come to fruition. I never created the listening station I was hoping for, but that doesn't mean I can't in the future. So I'm definitely going to go back through this and read through everything as I organize for our portfolio. So on top of brainstorming and preparing for the year, then what I did is as the homeschool year started, as I just treated it like a little journal. I would write the date and just write down what we did. So our first day of school last year, we went on a field trip to the Commonwealth Fire Station. It says we toured the truck and its equipment. We sat in the driver's seat, toured the station, day room where calls come in, lounge, kitchen, bunks, locker room, gym, pulled the truck out, let the kids squirt the hose. They dressed in their equipment. We went on a homeschool Olympic day. So keep track of field trips doing this. Also, like right here, did bubble painting, created art by blowing bubbles. You know, I would just take notes along the way, like 3 days of school under our belts, and I'm loving Heart of Dakota. I loved that curriculum. If you're not super organized, you're kind of a laid-back person, that might be a good choice for you. I kept track of days we didn't do school. So like here, we went on a field trip to Miss Nancy's farm house on Wells Road. Okay, and the first day of fall, what we did on the first day of fall. Planning Mia's birthday party. So here, 10-3-16, we did Unit 4, Day 1 for both Trip and Mia. We did science. We talked about light and God's energy over the world. I continued to do things like that throughout the year. So it was just, for me, I'm sharing this because this was a really easy way of being able to keep track, record some details about what we did, but not feeling the pressure of something that was already so planned out that I couldn't possibly have any room for flexibility. So I really enjoyed this, and especially as I look back through this now as I'm making this video, I realize this is going to be really helpful when I go to do my portfolio, because I'll be able to look through pictures on my phone and look through this and look through paperwork and really pull together some really good things and get a really good pile of what we did this year. Our Wild Adventures Club, kept track of that. You know, morning reading. Tripp read 2 Bible stories. I read 2 chapters from King of the Wind. Tripp did math. He did 3 pages. He's adding 3-digit numbers. Mia and I read Chicka Chicka Boom Boom and Green Eggs and Ham. We have a birthday party for Savannah this afternoon. And so you see, when I read this now, I know exactly what day this was because I remember going to Savannah's birthday party. So this, to me, was just a really neat way of keeping track. And like I said, now I can go back through and see what we did, see how I felt. I took notes. And, yeah, I mean, and there's really not much more to say about it. It's just like right here, Friday, 2/17 through 2/24, no school. Everyone was sick with the flu. I remember that week. You know, but then the next week we were back at it, Unit 13, Day 1, math, language arts, spelling, reading, Bible study, story time, science. We did a volcano space rocket. We ate our rock candy, looked at our salt crystals, and Mia began Unit 13. I doodle, obviously. So yeah, if you're looking for a new way, a different way to keep track of things, and maybe if you're like me, you rather write after the fact and actually record what you did instead of writing what you think you're going to do, then a homeschool journal might really be great for you. I know it really worked well for us, and as a homeschool mom, you really got to find out what works for you. So maybe this gave you some ideas. Share with me, you know, how do you keep track of your kids' work during the school year? Are you super organized? Have you done a portfolio before? Any tips for someone about to do one? I'd love to hear how you put your portfolios together, and again, any tips that you might have from me. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.